Wow, you found your way to the Female Way podcast. My name is Humita, and I'm so honored that you're here. Let's have a great time together. Hey, I'm so happy that you're here. Today I'm going to share maybe one of the most important messages for us as women. And actually, it's been the reason why I started this business in the first years. So I will take you on a journey, but what is most important, what you will take out of this chat we have today is how can you make sure that your inner feminine and inner masculine are working for you, but also what are the advantages of living the female way? What did it do for others? What did it do for me? How can you recognize someone who's living the female way? And I'm going to be very concrete there, because there is a huge difference when you're really in your body and you feel confident and alive for no reason. After a day of being a mommy or entrepreneur, you come home to your man and you're just so full of energy and every cell is alive and you're happy, you feel light. And if you're running your own business, I know many of you do, many of my clients, you run your business from a place of certainty and from your heart, and you have a strong masculine container and you always know what to do. That's a part of living the female way. But we go a little bit deeper there, because the living the female way has a very, it's like surrendering to the woman you're supposed to be. So it's going to be an exciting one. I mean, it's the name of my company, the Female Way. And that's the women. I mean, it's now more than a decade. I was able to support over thousands of women living the female way. So before we continue, the art of being a woman is all about living your female way and everything what we're going to speak about today. So just keep that in mind. And I have very good news for you. Live events are coming up. So a mystical retreat for the feminine will take place in 2026 for women. So we're going to go to the source of the feminine. We're going to breathe her. We're going to work deep with the tantric codes for femininity, for healing, to work with energy. It's going to be very exciting. It's a luxury version. So it's a luxury retreat to India. So we're going to stay in those, I can say palaces, castles. We're going to treat ourselves really, really well. And there's going to be an embodied feminine leader seminar. More exclusive, more high-end. So if you're high in business and you feel like I can, this embodied leadership, feeling empowered through the body, more from the heart, and you're ready to have that sensuality in every area of your life, then this might be for you. But okay, I wanted to share it with you because it can be full quickly. And it's like, it's new, it's fresh, and it's all about this work. The female way. It's basically, as the woman you are, peeling off the layers to your core. You're full of yourself in the best way possible. You're full of yourself. Your cup is full. You feel complete, secure, loved, and no matter what. Your relationships are thriving. The man, that's what I heard almost always from my partners. I was in really good relationships and I had the most amazing men. And they all agree on one thing, is that when we were in that relationship, I am so nice to be with. Like the energy was moving, I was moving. But not only when we were intimate, But when I was cooking and doing the dishes, I was always alive. I am always alive. I'm always happy. Well, of course, I have my moments. But even in my darkest moments, and that's what the female way really is, even in my darkest moments, and trust me, it's been a year, I'm still optimistic. I feel aligned. I feel complete. I feel loved. And that's what I see in my groups, especially the women who are in my long-term programs. That was the feedback last Monday. We had an embodiment session. The embodiment session is like we're together for like 60 minutes, 90 minutes. We drop in our bodies. And all these women are mothers, entrepreneurs in business. But now month 7, you know what the feedback was? The same as I'm just explaining about myself. I feel peace, I feel loved, I feel complete, I'm moving, everything is working out. And even one beautiful woman, she's been through a horrific time. Like cancer, splitting up, single mom. I think she had a baby I think it was just a couple of months when they split up. And now she's even got to move from being an entrepreneur from the corporate world to being an entrepreneur. And you know what she said? I feel confident, I feel secure, I'm looking forward to the future. She was able to deal with this entire situation with so much grace and trust and open-hearted, and she's really doing the work. I mean, she's stepping up. She's not only in my program, she's doing a lot of things next to it. But the women, I can say from the bottom of my heart, the art of being a woman, the content is going to be shared for the 5th year. 98% of the women are reacting like this, exactly in this way. I feel complete, I feel seen. Something really shifted in me. Even when shit hits the fan, I'm able to stay in my sacred space. So, I mean, being a woman is a journey. I hear you there. Body is changing, we're aging. Maybe you look also different, gray hair, black hair. But that's all on the surface. That's here on the human level. When we start to really live a little bit deeper with awareness, all these things are not bothering anymore. Because everything, your desire is changing, your surrounding is changing, the people around you are changing. But dropping into that feminine essence where it constantly asks for you to be aware and to calibrate with the changes, with where you are. But real femininity and live in the female way is moving with these energies. And be very truthful to yourself. What do I need? Where am I? Who am I? Am I living my desires in this moment? Can I feel it? Do I feel complete? I mean, if you would ask me, I want to make love with life every single day, no matter which situation I am. Till the moment my last breath will come out, I'm making love with life. And that's a promise I make to myself every day. I say yes to me, to myself, to life, to my man, to everything. Because this life is magical. Even in moments, again, I had the most horrific year. It will come, and that's health-wise. I will share it with you later when I'm ready to do so. And still, in those moments, even for people facing that or that, and I was in a kind of a similar situation, I felt so complete within and so peaceful, and I was so happy. And of course, I was suffering, but I'm deeply connected with the feminine essence. But what I also see is I see changes in the women, how they approach life. With more certainty, more trust, less doubt. And that's really the era we're in. It's really the time to step up for your values, your desires, and start to live them. I mean, honestly, the world is on fire. No minute to waste, no? So when you start to be aware of the fact that you're constantly changing, right? The ocean is the masculine energy, the waves is the feminine. It's constantly changing. Sometimes we're changing in a day, like every minute, and but if you can transform that, the tantric codes for the feminine, if you use them as your quality. I can be all over the place. I can be wild, but I can be also very peaceful, reading a book for hours. I can go to a festival and just close the lights, That is me. I'm like very extreme in all of that. But when I started to embrace that, it becomes such a gift. And you become a magnet for men, for work, for clients, because they want what you have. Because what you have is pretty awesome. I always make it happen. Always. Whatever state I am, I make sure that my life is amazing. I can take care of myself. And that's why I attract the most amazing men. Again, I never had a relationship. What I can say, like afterwards, I didn't like it or this or that. It was just amazing. And then you can ask, why did it end? Because sometimes you're meant to be together just for a couple of years. I'm not that 100 years together kind of type anyways. Because I change so much. And every time I change, there's another kind of man really suitable in my energy. But I'm beyond grateful for the man I had a relationship with. Precious, juicy, alive, peaceful. They had my back no matter what. They cared for me. They took care of me. They were present. They were committed. They were lovingly. And yeah, our ways split when it was time. And that's just a very clear moment. And yeah, sometimes I believe that it only gets better. So that's quite a mantra to live with. And living the female way is saying yes to you, living your best life. It's not so much about solving your problems, because what is a problem, my love? Often your problem is your biggest gift. But if we face it as a problem, in the female way we embrace. We embrace your raw, unique, sensual, spiritual, and your success. And it only gets better. So don't let anyone ever tell you that when you're aging, you're losing this, you're losing that, everything gets less, you look different. I can tell you. And that's not only what I've seen with the women who I work with, my private clients, the women in my groups, the women around me. Soon there will be this big event with a couple of 100 women. We go to India, we have a private event, which is more for the leaders, like I said. But, no joke, no exception. When they start to live the female way, they embrace all of this. And that's because they embrace their femininity, their intimacy, their sexual energy, which is pure life force, moving around in their body when they're brushing their teeth, when they're watching Netflix, when they go for a walk, they start to make love with the air, with the nature. They live in such a different way. And that's possible for everyone. I mean, I've seen women moving from A to C, and at A I was thinking like, ooh la la, that's going to be quite a journey. And I can tell you from the bottom of my heart, I had my own journey. So for some that's worthiness, for some that's self-love, for some that's feeling like a woman or have that energy, that potent energy moving. For some is it. So we all have our own female way, and, okay, here it comes. The moment you think you had it all figured out, there's another layer. Yet, some of us are like, yeah, it's okay, this, that. But this is for the ones who are like, feel they want to invite more confidence, more love, but that infinite love, you know, what is really moving through your body. And you want to have that intimate life with life. You know that you're here to be powerful from softness, sensual and focused, loving, sharp as a knife. And for me, was the biggest one, I wanted to move over shame. Like, who cares what anyone thinks about me? It was so deep-rooted. And then, can you imagine? I always choose a path where I need to work on that. So when I worked in television business and I was making programs like Big Brother, I mean, like I said, I come from a traditional Indian family, and I've been raised pretty, really old paradigm. Lots of rules, lots of keep everything inside, lots of shame. Be good girl, be a perfect girl. Please don't cry. Don't be angry. Just be, just make sure you have your papers, make a lot of money, be a good girl, get married, and have children. Oh, oops. And I'm this, following my heart, my intuition, and I was that since a little girl. So you can understand the challenge there. So moving over shame. So I was working and making that program Big Brother. Oh my. The amount of people, family members, like really reality 24/7, you're making that? I mean, in my family, you either go and study medicines or you become a lawyer. I chose another path. I wanted to study something different because I wanted to have more practice, less theory. I wanted my energy to move. I wanted to connect with people. And I knew, so I did. And then I started to work for John de Mol, which is like a person in this country, in the Netherlands. I mean, he's the most successful TV maker in the world. The Voice is from his library. I've been working for this man for over a decade. I'm super successful in my own way. I was always myself, and yet, of course, with everything happened, I always had to defend myself. Why are you working there? What are you doing? And then I started another path. I went deep into the path of Tantra. And then I got questions again. So it's funny. So shame is my biggest shadow to work with. And still my soul chose always the path to face it. It's very interesting. But the advantage, the flip side of the coin is I just follow my heart since I was a little girl, basically. But now, in this mature phase of life, it's more than ever. Because what it brings, and I've seen it with all those women in the last 10 years, you feel it in every cell of your body. The completeness, the energy is moving. Less fear, but more certainty. Everything I do with certainty. Even in the most painful situations. And it's in the female way, you look at fear and anxiety as a gift. So when I feel fear, I sit with the fear. There is like all these tantric practices, the coach we work with. I breathe into the fear. I know exactly what you do. And then the fear becomes a message, a sign. So living the female way is less of a method, but is more of a lifestyle. A remembrance, a direction, and foundation. You see, especially women who are like, I have a couple of CEOs and founders and like, how do you call these women? Like running like remarkable businesses. What I get back as feedback is their foundation is more solid. There is more trust. They can move with certainty. They can feel. And there is a source of desires opening up. And that, I mean, they're already super powerful. But when they activate that life force, that sexual energy, and use it for confidence, for their intuition, it's a whole other game. The game changes completely. They know what to do. They know where to go. I was working with she's one of the most successful psychologists in this country, and another woman who was like high in politics. They said the same. It's like the trust and the confidence. I mean, it was not bad, otherwise they couldn't do this work they're doing. But it comes from a different place, and then it becomes unshakable. And she saw she was able to don't take anything personal anymore. Because she started to understand the work of energy, projection. She got to tantric codes. So what she said is, the work I do is less working. It's more from a gift. And she has the energy at the end of the day. There was no draining anymore. She felt alive. Her partner is happy. And the other one was single, and now she attracted the man of her dreams. There is a sense of peace when you start to live the female way. She knows what she wants. She knows who she is. And that's good enough. She feels seen because there is this inner balance. Loved. And life is moving through her, like from her big toe up to her crown. That's what I see, what happens with women. And it's not one push on the button and you're like, hey, hello, I'm here. It's a constant checking in with yourself. This woman is living from her heart. Her heart is her inner compass, not her head, not her planning, not her to-do list, but her body. The body is the whisper from the soul. So when there's something with your body and it's changing, we are basically forced to listen because the body knows. And living the female way, you trust knowing that. You hear the whisper. Her heart is in coherence and she has this beautiful alignment, body, mind, and soul. All connected. And the heart and the body are in the lead. She's so tuned. She feels, she knows, she listens, and she creates. Her creativity is full on. Her life energy, oh my God, if she enters the room, the whole room lights up. She doesn't need any words. It's her presence. And she's not like this model kind of type. That's not what I'm speaking about. It's her radiance. It's her energy. She didn't win Holland's Next Top Model. But her inner radiance makes her the most beautiful person in the room. And she haven't had yet shed a word. Her intimate life is fully alive. Her lust for life as well. The embodied woman every day again. What is going on? What's my desire? Can I feel it in this moment? Where do I need to adjust? Where do I need to take action? I'm not going to settle for less anymore. Neither do the women in my world. So I can give a rampage on this and I can ramble on, and it's so, I mean, this is my mission. Living from wholeness, sensuality as your superpower, orgasmic living, like making love with life, because that's what this life is about. And you are the creator who can create this. Everyone can do this. The question is, do you want it? Or, I was just having this conversation with someone very close to me. There's a time for everyone. You can settle in I see that around as well. In your business, in a way, you're good with it. Or in your relationship, you're like, okay, but they're like 50-60% is okay-ish. And I just hope that things will be better. Well, hope never worked out, just between you and me. So, for me, my core values are peace and freedom. So I want to live from that. A lot of women in living the female way, they share the freedom one. And what I've heard, I think the most is self-love, sensuality, trust and certainty. She doesn't need any approval from outside. She loves herself no matter what. She takes care of herself as her most amazing lover. Oh, that in itself turns me on already. She gets turned on, oh my God, by everything in life. By an orange pumpkin. By taking a sip of her... Well, I was just taking a sip of my liquor iced tea and I was like, oh. The women, they adore their body, no matter what. Because they have the tantric tools. They know that where they are is perfect and it only gets better. Reversed aging, she knows what to do. She's loving it all. She knows better how to dress, how to move. Oh! She knows I'm a wise woman. My body is my guide. My intuition is my direction. My heart is my home. Less thinking, more feeling. Sharp focus, orgasmic living from aliveness. So if you want to start with that, the female way today, we have the art of being a woman. It's 9 months. But if you want to do something small today, let me share with you. Where are you in life? And is that really the life you want to live? What are your desires? Are you truthful to yourself? If everything was possible and I would give you a magic wand right now, what would you do? If they would tell us within the year the world ends, what would be your female way? What would you do? Where would you stand up for yourself? Where would you say yes to yourself? What would you change? Which travels would you do? How much money do you want in your account? From a body level. Really, from a body level, what would you desire? Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. Listening to this whole podcast, because it's been a long one, is basically showing that you're ready to embrace the next level of you. So have a look at humita.nl. There is free material. We're actually going to put some new things on in the coming days. Expect lots of podcasts in the coming periods. I'm back, bitches. And I don't know if I like the word bitches, but it just came out like that. I was so enthusiastic. Babes is more my word. I'm happy that you're here. Let's create, women supporting women, women seeing each other. We're here. And I'm here for you. I'm going to, as you know, I'm super vulnerable in my podcast. I share everything and expect more to come. So, saying yes to yourself, saying yes to life. What does that mean? What can you do? I see you. I love you. Until we meet again. Ciao. Thank you for making it all the way through the end. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being in my life. Please, I would be so grateful if you give it a 5-star so other women can also find this podcast. We're in it together. Together we change the world. If you want to know a little bit more, go to www.humita.nl. Let's dance in this life together. Sending you love. Till we meet again.